All right, I'm with one awesome Australian comic artist here. Yeah, just take the brag. Who am I talking to right now?
Hi, I'm Tim McEwen. I'm the co-creator of Greener Pastures, and we're here at Oz Comic Con in Sydney, selling old Greener Pastures and new Greener Pastures. It's all here, yeah.
Yeah, because I noticed that right along here. I'm talking old school Greener Pastures. This is back when I was in high school. And I'm sorry, I'm showing your age.
No, it's good. I'm a veteran, is what I like to say. Yeah, and I really still love selling the old stuff because it's it's the origin story of the character and where he began. And we've got like number 1 to 4 is a great arc by itself, and number 5, 6, and 7 is another great arc by itself. So I can't see myself being at a convention like this and not selling all the old stuff as well as the new stuff. It's all part of what Greener Pastures is, yeah.
Well, as I mentioned off camera, that I had the original issues and I lost them over a period of time, but now you've got them here, so I'm going to rekindle my my teenage childhood.
Yeah, so it's really interesting. The number 1 you're going to buy is a second printing. So it's a second printing from like 1997, but it's still the second printing. But earlier today, I had a guy turn up with a pristine copy of the first printing of Greener Pastures number 1. And a couple of weekends ago, we were in Rockhampton in central Queensland at Rockhampton's convention, Capricorn. And I had 2 people turn up with pristine copies of Greener Pastures number 1, which is really amazing, to get them signed because they bought them but had never got them signed. So that's it. Like, I've got a fan base who keep coming back, and I think they're all kind of excited that number 8 has come out all these years later. The last issue was 7.5, and number 8 is out now. And we've also got Adventure Illustrated, which is serializing the new Trevor, not set in 1997, but set in like 2020. So a middle-aged Trevor who's questioning the decisions he made as a young adult, which is what happens in numbers 1 to 8.
I do have to ask, why the big gap between issues?
Yeah, it's a great question. So number 8 has come like 20-something years, 25 years after number 7. And it was actually written like back in 1997. So the script we're using has been updated, but the basic plot and the basic storyline is what we had in 1997. So why the big gap? We were making these comics, Michael Michelandos and I were making these comics when we were starting our real lives as adults, our careers and our lives with our families, our wives and having children and that kind of stuff. And that kind of slowed stuff down. And every time I was ready to make more comics, Michael wasn't able to. And every time he was able to, I wasn't able to. So it's been a very big gap. But there's a really big story to tell. And we're adamant that we're going to tell it. And now that we actually do have the time again, that's what we're doing. So the new stuff, the stuff that's set in 2020, is the stuff that's going to tell the really big, crazy story of how Trevor, as a bull, how he was able to stand on his hind legs and just talk to the farmer, and how is that possible? We're going to answer all those questions. So it's a really big action-packed adventure story that's still to come. So we're going to do that.
And when can we get these issues? Like, are you on socials? What's the website?
Yeah. So I'm going to get a card so I can remember and get it right. One of the best places to go is probably Instagram, and you can find Greener Pastures Comic on Instagram, and you can also find me, Tim McEwen, on Instagram. So they're the handles: Greener Pastures Comics and Tim McEwen, and that's MCEWEN. That's probably the best place, and from there there's a link tree that you can find every other social that I'm on, but they're probably the best places. But next year we're looking at doing a Kickstarter for number 8. The version I have here is a preview edition. So we're going to kickstart number 8 properly. We're also going to probably do the trade paperback collections of the old stuff because I'm finally running out of copies of those. And we're going to do 9 and 10 as well, which are already written, and I'm going to draw them during the year next year.
So Well, thank you very much, Tim. I appreciate the chat.
No worries. It's great to be here.
And it's great to see Greener Pastures back.
Yeah, thanks. It's been really, like, I've made new fans today, and I've had quite a few old fans as well. So the whole thing is it's really a great thing to see. I really appreciate it when new people stop and take a chance, and when old people come back and tell me that they've been enjoying it.
So, thank you.
No worries.